Okay, the topic of this video is comparing saltwater and freshwater fly tying. I got 30 years, 40 years, 50 years experience tying freshwater flies, mostly for trout, a lot for salmon and steelhead. In the last year, I got into the saltwater game, and it has been so much fun. It really is different. Now, if you've been focusing on pike and muskie and bass, those are freshwater species and a lot of similarities to the saltwater game. But tying size 16 stimulators and size 20 Griffith gnats is very different than tying a 3/0 baitfish imitation. I'm just going to cover a few things here as an introduction. I hope you'll find some good help with our whole series of saltwater fly tying and fly fishing videos. But here's some starters. First of all, fly vices. Lots of good vices on the market. Whatever you're using is probably fine. I like a Regal. I use a Norvise. I use Dynaking vices. One things I had to learn was tying in the freshwater side, sizes up to 2 or maybe 1/0, I was fine. Once I got into the hook sizes 2/0, 3/0, I was struggling because the gap that you get is just barely big enough. So if you're saltwater bonefish, size 6 flies, size 4 flies, size 8, size 2s, you're good with your freshwater vise. If you're going to go with big streamers, perhaps stuff like this, you may want to consider getting a different vise head for your vise. Rotating vise. Some people say it's not essential. My gosh, I would not want to not have. How's that for a double negative? I want a rotating vise because it's going to make it possible for me to see what I'm doing around the fly, to apply clear cure goo in different places. Make your decision. I think a rotating vise is really important. Now, hook styles. Yes, saltwater hooks. Sea salt is nasty on your hooks. Mustad makes great hooks. TMC, Gamakatsu, Owner. The point of this part is not to tell you which type of hook you use. There's lots of guidance out there, but if you're really tying saltwater flies, you're going to want some flies that are specifically crafted for saltwater use. Now, here's the thing about hooks. Until I got into this game, I thought a size 2 hook was about as big as I ever needed. I fish king salmon, size 2 hooks. You know, big fish. Of course, all the fish I catch are big. But the point is, the flies are small, they are light, and so anywhere from a size 2 to a size 8 hook is plenty strong enough on 12-pound tippet, 10-pound tippet for big fish. All of a sudden, I got into the saltwater game, and I'm using hooks. I'm seeing people recommending size 3/0 and 4/0 hooks. And I'm thinking, why are they using those? The wire is so heavy. The hooks are so heavy. First off, many saltwater species have very, very abrasive teeth or bony plates in their mouth or around their mouths. So they'll often use shock tippets that are 20-pound, 30-pound, 40-pound, 50-pound tippets. And the flies they tie are often fished, they're often unweighted, like this is, and fished at high speed. If one were to use a size 2 hook here, you don't have the proper keel effect, and your fly would tend to spin on its side. A bigger hook, a heavier wire hook, is going to act as a keel on that fly. So, just one of those things to consider. It's a learning moment. Fly tying threads. I learned the joys of using fine monofilament thread. Never quite picked it up in the freshwater game. You'll definitely want to consider it for saltwater flies. Now, some people recommend Kevlar. Kevlar is not a personal choice of mine. I will often use a heavier thread. Here's a Danville's 210 denier thread. This has been strong enough for my tastes. There are other threads out there, Vivas stomach or body thread. I use Ultra thread in 140D. So depending on your hook size, how big the head of your fly is going to be, but you will probably shy away from your 6/0 threads, although you may not. The fine mono is about equivalent to 6/0. Winging materials. It's difficult, not impossible. It's difficult to find things that are, well, they're different. You can use natural winging materials like bucktail. You can use marble fox, Arctic fox. Come on. Squirrel tail, rabbit, even deer hair. There are all kinds of natural materials for winging that work very well. There is also this marvelous range of synthetic materials. This Enrico Puglisi EP fibers. These happen to be Steve Farrar's blend. These are fibers that come, they have sparkle incorporated. These are brush and wing fibers, very similar to the EP fibers. There's a whole range of these materials that are just awesome. There are brushes on stainless steel wire in a whole variety of colors that are great. So the point is, freshwater, saltwater, you're gonna have a whole new range of options in some of these synthetics. Cure goo. You're going to want to consider using cure goo and get a good light to cure it. Putting eyes on flies. That's a topic, a whole new topic. It's a lot of fun. You'll need to practice. Some people say it's simple. I have not found it to be simple until I practiced and practiced. But putting eyes on flies with clear cure goo instead of epoxy is a great thing. It's going to enhance your flies, and you're going to have a lot of fun with it. So, I've droned on too long. The point is, I encourage you to get into the saltwater fly tying game. I can't figure out which camera to look at here. It's a lot of fun. The flies are effective. The flies they use on the East Coast for stripers and blues and false albacore work on our species out here. So go ahead, give it a try. You'll have fun. Thanks.